What really scares you? What are you afraid of? I was asking Pam what the scariest movie she ever saw was, and she went all the way back to Jaws. You remember how scary it was when you heard that music? Bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. And you knew something was going to happen and it wasn't going to be good. I want to talk to you about the things you fear the most and why you don't have to be afraid in your morning cup of inspiration. I looked up the top 5 fears that most of us have, and number 1 is death, because people aren't sure what happens after you die. And if you don't know the Lord, of course you're going to be fearful, because then you have no idea. The number 2 fear was being buried alive. Number 3, spiders and snakes. Have you ever run into a scary snake? That can cause a lot of fear. Number 4 was heights, and I don't like heights too much myself anymore. And number 5 was public speaking. But let's talk about the fear of death. You know, so many of us fear things that haven't happened yet because, again, it's the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Or maybe you've had the experience where you just were so fearful of something that was going to happen, and the event came and passed, and it was okay. You were still here, and everything was still fine. I think so many times we're fearful of things that we imagine or that we think will happen when in fact they don't. But the fear of death is a big one. But when you know the Lord, you don't have to fear that, because that's the worst that can happen. But God is with us, and truly there are many scriptures that talk about having God with us. Psalm 27:1 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" Boy, if God's on your side, who can possibly cause you to fear? He is so powerful, and He is with you. Psalm 46:1 says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble." Verse 2 says, "Therefore we will not fear, though the earth be removed and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea." It's saying no matter what happens, we don't have to be afraid. And if you think that death is the scariest thing, think about this verse in 2 Corinthians 5:8. "We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord." When you die, you're going to be with the Lord in heaven forever, and it's going to be wonderful. So the fears we have here are temporary. Many of them are unfounded. But if you know the Lord and you have Him on your side, you do not have to be afraid. I hope that encourages you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless. I'll see you soon for another morning cup of inspiration.